am a change maker.
I am a change maker.
I am a change maker.
You're a change maker.
You are a change maker.
You are a change maker.
We are all change makers.
We're all change makers.
We are change makers.
We are change makers.
We are change makers.
Good evening, and welcome to the first ever Celebrate Changemakers signature fundraising event for Girl Scouts River Valleys. My name is Cindy Kent, EVP and President of Senior Living for Brookdale Senior Living, America's largest senior living company. Until 2020, I was a longtime resident of the Twin Cities community and a past board member of Girl Scouts River Valleys. I distinctly recall early discussions under Linda Keene's leadership with board members and other executive women leaders in the Twin Cities. Janet Stacy, in particular, a fellow board member who had recently relocated from Texas, shared some of her experiences with her previous Girl Scout service unit, and from that, Women of Distinction was developed. As we reflect on recent events, as well as the past year with health, social, political, racial, and economic unrest, let's all take a minute to consider the impact that this is having on the youngest changemakers, our youth, and especially girls. The importance of youth organizations such as Girl Scouts are more critical than ever because their primary aim is to strengthen the social and emotional support that youth need in order to be resilient during challenging times. And my friends, I think we can all agree that these are certainly challenging times. So now we have the opportunity to create new silver linings and positively leverage this year of change to address what is the most important aspect of Girl Scouts: girls. It is vitally important that we take time to celebrate the great work of our youth and what they are doing to help their communities. Tonight, you will hear amazing stories of celebration, sisterhood, and of our beloved community. This past year has been challenging, but there are always signs of positive change around us when we look for them. At Girl Scouts, every girl has the power to change the world. I know this to be true because I see it every day as Girl Scouts go on to become leaders, change makers, and trailblazers in their communities and in the world at large. As a Girl Scout alum myself, I have seen firsthand that Girl Scouts develop into strong women leaders and change makers. Girl Scouts is the only all-girl leadership program designed to encourage and support girls to recognize issues in their communities and to find sustainable solutions to improve the world around them. I'm proud to be here tonight with all of my past Women of Distinction and Centennial Honorees joining us virtually as we usher in this new era of trailblazers and leaders, our amazing change makers. Those watching at home tonight, with their families and friends, troops, service units, and colleagues, I challenge you to think about how you plan to be a change maker this year and how you will support and encourage your Girl Scout and all of our local Girl Scouts to be our next generation of change makers. One of my personal mantras that I quote to myself every day is, "Today, I will be a magnet for positive, productive people who are changing the world, for indeed, I am one of them." In other words, each of us has the ability to be a change maker each and every day in ways great and small. That's why I would like to salute 3 strong, dynamic, trailblazing women who are also close personal friends and change makers to me, as well as to countless others. Dr. Tamara Duperball Brownlee, Chief Community Impact Officer with Ascension, Christina Hennington, EVP and Chief Growth Officer for Target, and Kimberly Price, Chair of the Delta Dental Foundation and 3M retiree, as well as Girl Scouts River Valley's Centennial Honoree. In closing, I want to also thank each of you for being here tonight and for participating in this important and historic event. My name is Cindy Kent, and I'm a change maker. You are a change maker. We are change makers.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me for the first ever Girl Scouts River Valley Celebrate Changemakers event. My name is Shayla Reeves, and I'm proud to be a part of the WCCO morning team. We are thrilled to gather, even at a distance, with our Girl Scout community to celebrate the amazing work our girl members accomplished over the last year, even in the face of adversity. I'm so glad that we have each other tonight as we reflect upon how the Girl Scouts navigated the pandemic, being apart from our loved ones, and the impact of the racial injustices that our community has experienced. We hold dear the opportunity to come together after the hardships of this year, but also to look to what the future will bring. While it's been a difficult year, tonight is a night for joy and inspiration as we remember how Girl Scouts give every girl the power to change the world. So many women have inspired me along my own journey. Just having someone to believe in you, to recognize your potential, can be game-changing. From my mother, Linda Reeves, making sure she could provide opportunities to me that she didn't have, to my 7th grade English teacher, Miss Jean Norval, recognizing my skills in writing and encouraging me to never stop, to mentors like Tanya McCleary, who skillfully matched the tough stuff I needed to hear with compassion, hope, and some of that "you can do it" to keep me pushing forward. Though you may not recognize those names, there are women like these women in your life, those who show up when it's tough, stick around when it's hard, and build you up when you feel broken. Hold them close. At the end of the day, deep down, we all want to feel seen, we want to feel heard, we want to feel understood, and we want to feel valued. The more that we connect with the core of who we are, the more we're able to learn, grow, and give back of ourselves to those women and girls around us. That's really what it's all about. Now I'm honored to introduce Girl Scouts River Valley's Board Chair and Senior Vice President of Human Resources at Schwann's Home Services, Gail Hayhurst.
Hello everyone! As Board Chair of Girl Scouts River Valleys and a Senior Vice President of tonight's Platinum sponsor, Schwann's Home Delivery, I'm honored to welcome you all to Celebrate Changemakers. I already see a lot of familiar names in the chat and some new ones too. Welcome to each and every one of you. I think you'll find your time with us tonight inspirational, moving, and I wouldn't be surprised if you leave us tonight with a spark or two for how you want to be a change maker, whether in your community, your company, your neighborhood, or elsewhere. I am especially honored to welcome you here tonight because this is Girl Scouts' first ever Celebrate Changemakers event. As you know, a lot of things have changed in the past year. Just 1 year ago, every one of our Girl Scout staff and board members were putting their heads together to explore a new virtual venue in ways we've never thought about before. It was a challenge, certainly, but the success of those resulting virtual programs has also reminded us that change can be an opportunity too. What is it they say? Never miss the opportunities that a crisis creates. That is why River Valleys wanted to change the name of this fundraising event and why we finally decided on Celebrate Changemakers. We wanted the name to really reflect what we're all trying to accomplish here tonight. First, we want this to be a celebration. It has been a hard year. We deserve a bit of celebration and to look back on the past year, mourn the difficult things, while also congratulating ourselves on the work, perseverance, and Girl Scout grit it took to keep going. To look at the challenges ahead of us and try to see the opportunities there as well. And as much as we want to celebrate the past year, we always want to look forward to the future. That's where the Changemaker part of Celebrate Changemakers comes in. Each and every one of us is here today because we believe that Girl Scouts can change the world. This March, during River Valley's virtual Day at the Capitol event, girls and state legislators participated in 99 conversational sessions. 99 sessions where legislators listened to the Girl Scout community and where girls advocated for themselves, participated in democracy, and continued their progress to make the world a better place. Later this year, the board and I are excited to share a new Girl Scout strategic plan. This plan is about keeping Girl Scouts sustainable, growing, and innovative for the future, so we can always support girls, all girls, no matter what the future throws at us. It is also about increasing inclusion and belonging in Girl Scouts because every girl does belong in Girl Scouts. and every girl is a change maker. Our program is simply designed for girls, by girls, all girls. Now, we couldn't be here tonight if it weren't for some amazing sponsors who are change makers in their own right, and I want to properly thank them for the impact they are having here tonight. First, thank you to our platinum sponsor, Schwann's Home Delivery, and our gold sponsor, 3M. Thank you to our sustaining and silver sponsors, and our generous bronze sponsors listed here. Thank you to our virtual sponsors for believing in this event and in our girls. And thank you to our virtual hosts for supporting Celebrate Changemakers and the change we will no doubt make here tonight. Finally, thank you to Girl Scouts River Valley's Leadership Circle donors who make the work of Girl Scouts sustainable even during difficult times. To join them, you can make a gift of $1,000 tonight or $85 a month through our monthly giving program, Daisy Circle. Any gift you make tonight will be tripled, thanks to our generous board of directors, previous women of distinction and centennial honorees, as well as a group of generous donors. Thank you all. I'll be joining you towards the end of the program with our CEO, Tish Bolger. But until then, please enjoy our time together as we pay tribute to our amazing Girl Scouts and Changemakers who are living out our mission of making the world a better place. Now back to you, Shayla.
Thank you, Gail, for giving us a closer look at how Girl Scouts have persevered and taken action this past year. Girls, volunteers, and the entire Girl Scout movement are showing us that anyone can be a change maker. Now I have the pleasure of introducing our inaugural class of Changemaker Award honorees. To fit the criteria for this award, the Girl Scouts needed to demonstrate outstanding courage, confidence, and character while working to make the world a better place. I can confidently say they have more than accomplished that. Our award honorees will share their stories, and then we have the chance to hear them speak with Girl Scouts River Valley CEO Tish Bolger about their Girl Scout experiences this past year and their plans for the future. Changemaker Award honoree Mae Zhang is a senior at Roseville High School and takes her leadership to heart. When Mae takes the lead, as she often does, she does so by example and touches everyone around her in the process. Let's hear Mae's story.
My name is Mae Zhang, and I'm currently a senior at Roseville Area High School. Growing up as a Hmong American woman, my Hmong culture has very strict ideals and high expectations to follow. I was taught to become a good housewife, have good grades, and to not have opinions.
Mae's greatest strengths are her communication styles, her selflessness, her ability to think outside of the box, and her positive energy.
I have been in Girl Scouts for 5 years now. My only regret is that I wished I could have joined sooner. At my first troop meeting, I had a chance to talk about myself. I noticed that I didn't really understand who I was, and I found it difficult to find words to describe myself. Through Girl Scouts Connects, we learned to build positive relationships with other girls. From then on, I learned from other successful ways to become a proud Hmong woman and create my own goals.
Mae has definitely changed as a result of Girl Scouts. She has become an advocate not only for herself, but as an advocate for younger students, and she just really is a role model for those 9th grade and 10th graders. She definitely is a leader.
My definition of a changemaker is someone who is confident, dependable, honest, and strong. They are that someone who is willing to learn and want change. They are open to self-growth and criticism. But most importantly, they make sure to listen to everyone and use their voice to express and advocate for those who can't.
I think it's really meaningful to have students that are willing to go out of their way to do things for other people, and it's not just about themselves. Especially as teenagers, sometimes we are focused on who we are, and she really advocates for other people.
I want to dedicate this time to raise awareness about the recent uprising in the AAPI violence and to the Black Lives Matter movement. My skin color should not be the defining factor to whether I live or die. Looking back at my time in Girl Scouts, it's a place of comfort and fun. It made me more self-aware so that I could have deep, meaningful discussions, and most importantly, it creates beautiful relationships.
I think she just has an amazing future ahead of herself, and so excited to see where that future leads to.
As a woman of color, I know of the hardships we face in this country. No one should feel ashamed to be who they are. Girl Scouts Connects has made me optimistic and always looking forward to the future. Just know that our voices together are stronger, and we are in this together. Keep your chin up and be proud of who you are.
Mae, it's so great to see you again.
Hi, Tish.
How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking.
Oh my gosh, you have had an incredible year. You have been working at home for a very long time. How long have you been doing your schoolwork at home?
My principal said that it was 4 trimesters now.
Whoa, that is a long time. So during that time, what have you learned as a Girl Scout that's helped you cope with everything that's happened this year?
That is a great question. I think that Girl Scouts really prepared me to be in a situation like this. Like, they boost my confidence so that I could speak up, just not for me, but also for my peers and people who may not be able to.
Yeah, I remember that when we talked before, you mentioned how your Girl Scout troop had given you a lot of confidence, and there was resources available to you, and you really took advantage of that.
Yeah, reaching out to teachers, just asking for help, and it's just anything, that's bothering me, I'll bring it up to them.
That makes a difference, doesn't it?
It does. It really helps me, and I just can't go back to the old me, just sitting in utter confusion,
Mm-hmm.
And now that I learned that, I wish other people would do the same, why would you sit in confusion when you could get all these misunderstandings cleared up,
You have a great Girl Scout troop too. You have 20 girls in your troop. And tell me a little bit about your leader.
Yeah, my leader, Samantha, she's a one-of-a-kind person. So wonderful. She helps and supports us, each and every one of us. And it's so amazing to see how she can do that, but also at the same time, unifying all of us so that we can work together as a group.
Mae, what do you think a leader is? When you think of yourself as a leader, what's a leader?
I think being a leader is definitely someone like Samantha,
Yeah.
listening to other people and to what they have to say and providing them with all the resources that you can, just being there to support them is what I think a leader should be.
That's great. Thank you. Hey, what's next? What's next on the horizon for you?
This fall, I'll be attending the U of M for majoring as a nurse.
Great.
So that's really exciting for me.
Oh, that's really exciting. You're going to be a great nurse.
Thank you.
It's been so great to connect with you, Mae. I know that you're going to continue to lead with poise and conviction. Thank you for all that you've done to make the world a better place. You, Mae, are a change maker. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's great to see you. And now let's meet our next Changemaker Award honoree, Maddie Dietz. Maddie's a senior at Interlochen Arts Academy and has already made her mark on the world through her creativity and authenticity. Join me in learning more about Maddie's story.
Maddie has changed significantly because of Girl Scouts. Maddie was a painfully shy child.
I'm Maddie Dietz, and I'm a senior in high school. I'm originally from Texas, but now I live in St. Paul, Minnesota. I am the National Student Poet representing the Midwest and a Young Arts finalist in short story, so clearly the written word is important to me. I believe in creating media people can see themselves in, and I'm very, very passionate about creative education.
When we moved to Minnesota, Literally the first thing they wanted me to look for to sign them up for was press corps.
We had to reach out to the council and say, hey, we'd like to make this thing. What do you think? My Silver Award project was creating an LGBTQ+ resources document after searching for those resources myself and having a lot of trouble. Girl Scouts played a large role in helping me accept my lesbianism. I became concerned about kids in situations where they wouldn't have enough time and safety to explore these resources. Maddie is a change maker, but I think one of the most important ways is that she's really just passionate about helping people. I'm now teaching creative writing workshops using the free creative writing curriculum I wrote for my Gold Award. I am working towards that life goal of making sure young people feel confident and supported in using their own voice. Girl Scouts is about growing up and gaining a fuller sense of self along the way.
I have a long list of things that I admire about Maddie, but one of the things that I admire most is her heart. She cares passionately about other people. One of the things that she has seen through Girl Scouts is that there's always something to learn from everybody that she interacts with.
You have to listen and consider other people while making change. If you're trying to make change in a vacuum, you're only making change for you. It's vital to include other people in the work you do. I don't think anyone feels the type of brave we see in movies. In reality, being brave is being freaked out and nervous and unsure and trying things anyway. That is what being a change maker is all about. Everyone deserves to share their voice, and my life goal is to ensure that people can use their voice in a way they feel represents them.
Hey, Maddie, it's so great to see you today. How are you?
Hi, Tish. It's wonderful to see you. I'm doing well. Thank you so much.
Now, I can tell that you're in your dorm room, and the last time we spoke, you were in your dorm room and you were quarantined with some of your roommates. What's going on with quarantine?
Luckily, it's been all good news here. We haven't had any cases on campus in more than a few weeks now, so things are slowly returning back to rights.
That is great news. I'm really glad to hear that. Hey, what have you learned, Maddie, as a Girl Scout that's helped you cope with something on this scale?
Girl Scouts really supports girls exploring their passions in creative and innovative ways through journeys, through their support of special interest troops. And so being a Girl Scout during this time has allowed me to really delve into my passions when I needed them most. This year of all years, I have been writing like the wind because writing helps me process events and to take a step back from events when I need to. And Girl Scouts, every step of the way, has been supporting that passion.
How do you feel a Girl Scout can make her voice heard?
I think that the best way people can make their voice heard is to create what they're passionate about, and then this is the very tricky and scary part, to share those creations. I think the process of creating a piece of art, no matter what that art may be, even speeches, experiments, paintings, anything at all, it's a process that allows you to pull your emotions out of yourself and distill them in another form. And then to share that form is an incredible way to communicate with others and to form connection in this crazy, crazy time. So I think that to make your voice heard, you have to have that bravery to share what you think with others.
You do. You have bravery, you have courage, you have confidence. And tell me, what's in store for you after school? What are you doing in the fall?
I'm honored to announce that I'll be attending Princeton University in the fall.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I am so excited to just dive right in when I get on campus. They provide creative writing classes for freshmen, which isn't the case with a lot of universities. So I'll get to keep exploring my passions and keep building confidence in sharing what I've created.
Oh, that's great news. I'm so excited for you. Thank you so much for your time tonight. It was great talking with you, and I can't wait to read your work. I hope I get an autographed copy of your first book. You, Maddie, are a change maker. Congratulations. Take care.
Thank you so much, Tish.
These two amazing change makers have a lot of dreams and goals ahead of them, and I know they are determined to continue to make the world a better place. A couple of weeks ago, I had the chance to have a virtual lunch with both of them. It was a special time to get to know these girls a bit better. I also shared with them that each would be receiving a $1,000 scholarship from Girl Scouts River Valleys to use for their post-secondary education. Mae, Maddie, thank you for your leadership and commitment to your community and Girl Scouts. We are incredibly proud of you both. Let's give Mae and Maddie a round of applause or a virtual high five right now. Let's truly celebrate them for their amazing accomplishments. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Everybody here is really supportive over each other, and they help you get through stuff. The biggest thing I've learned in Girl Scouts is probably help others, and they'll help you. One thing I love about Girl Scout Camp is being able to come and just being able to be yourself, and everybody's going to accept you for who you are, and you're going to have fun with it. I love Girl Scout Camp.
Watching that video makes me excited to get back out to camp this year. It fills me with so much joy that our campers will soon get to see each other in person again, just like I know that soon we'll get to see each other in person too. But until then, thank you for attending Celebrate Changemakers with me tonight. After such a difficult year, it truly means the world to come together tonight with my fellow Girl Scouts so we may process what we've been through as a community and look toward a hopeful future with our Changemaker honorees and all the Girl Scouts who give us hope for the future. And it is a hopeful future. I can promise you that. It's been an overwhelming year, but every time I wondered what the future would hold in 2021, I remembered a story of resilience from one of our Girl Scouts. During one of our mountain bike programs this fall, a girl fell off her bike, but that didn't stop her. She stood up, she brushed herself off and said, "Sometimes you fall and you just gotta get right back up and keep going, and that's not just for mountain biking." And then she got back on her bike, turned to her instructor and said, "What are we waiting for?" I love this story because even though it happened in a year full of hardships, it's still such a classic Girl Scout story. Girl Scouts have never been ones to wait. When we fall, we get back up. And when the world needs to be changed, we are the ones to make it happen. I saw that Girl Scout passion and resilience come out in full force this year. This summer, I saw Daisy Girl Scouts joining marches for racial justice and junior Girl Scouts meeting with their local representatives. I heard stories of troops using their meetings to process the racism and trauma of this year. After one such troop meeting, a Connects Girl Scout thanked her troop leader and said, "These aren't conversations that I think to have or have the space to talk about." Girl Scouts is the place where girls have that space to think, talk about, and act on things they care most about. It is a refuge for girls to dream about new political futures, overcome failure, and process the challenges they face. Being a refuge is not a responsibility that Girl Scouts takes lightly or ever has taken lightly in our 100 years of fighting for a better future. This year, Girl Scouts distributed free Zoom licenses, memberships, and virtual programs because economic hardship should never prevent girls from accessing community and belonging. In the 1950s, Girl Scouts was a force for desegregation, and in 2020, we continued that work by creating our dedicated anti-racist programs committee because we know that work to create an anti-racist, just world needs to continue long into the future, not just when tragedy hits our Black community. For however long it takes to build a world where everyone belongs, Girl Scouts is here. That is why I believe that the future is hopeful. Because even after 100 years of challenges and struggles, Girl Scouts is still fighting for something better. Our Girl Scouts aren't waiting for a better future. They're here to make it themselves. Tonight, all of us here have the chance to work toward that better future. By giving a gift tonight, you are supporting 26,000 Girl Scouts, 26,000 Changemakers. Girl Scouts River Valleys has been able to completely reimagine our work and develop COVID-resilient programs because of gifts like the ones you make at Celebrate Changemakers. 1 in 5 girls receive financial assistance to participate in Girl Scouts because of you. And tonight, that impact will be tripled thanks to a very generous matching fund. Now, more than ever, you can provide the resources that Girl Scouts needs to continue being a refuge for girls, no matter what. And when I say that Girl Scouts is and always has been a refuge, I'm speaking from personal experience. You see, when I was in 4th grade, I changed schools, and suddenly I had no connections. I didn't belong. And it wasn't long before I started getting bullied. It wasn't caused by a pandemic, but it is something similar to what so many of our Girl Scouts felt this year: isolation. Thankfully, the same thing saved me that also saved so many girls in the summer of 2020, Girl Scout camp. Because you see, at camp, I suddenly belonged. And even though camp was only a few weeks long, that feeling of belonging changed my life forever. And when I went back to school, I was still bullied, yes, but now I had a reservoir of connection and confidence from my camp experience. I built up the resilience I needed to feel hopeful about my future. It's just like that Girl Scout who fell off her mountain bike said, we just have to keep going. That's what Girl Scouts teaches us. And over 50 years later, Girl Scouts is still that same refuge. Let me tell you a story about virtual Girl Scout camp from last year. One girl named Kayla was struggling during the pandemic. Like many other girls, she was isolated from her friends, and everything that she'd been looking forward to that summer had been canceled. But Girl Scout camp wasn't. And as Kayla attended virtual camp and made new friends there, her confidence blossomed. In fact, she immediately signed up for more sessions of virtual camp so that she could stay engaged throughout the whole summer. As the weeks went on, Kayla became bold and excited about camp, acting as a leader in the group like a counselor in training would. Just like I once did, Kayla came away from Girl Scout camp with a reservoir of confidence and connection to draw from for whatever challenges she faced that year. At virtual camp last year, we also had a closing ceremony where we sang songs and shared reflections. And one of the questions that we asked Kayla and the other girls was, what do you want to remember 5 years from now about camp? And in response, girls said that they wanted to remember the new friends they made. They wanted to remember the counselors and how kind and supportive they were. They wanted to remember the connection they felt, how much they looked forward to logging on and seeing everyone during a summer where there wasn't much else to look forward to. And even though it was virtual, some of our campers cried happy tears at the closing ceremony, just like I once did. And just like so many girls will at Girl Scout camp for years to come. Girl Scouts is a refuge for girls because of donors like you. And Girl Scouts are change makers because Girl Scouts is a life-changing experience. It is a beautiful and powerful cycle of our all-girl program supporting girls and those girls going on to make our world a better place. And so on and so forth for over 100 years and for the next 100 years into the future. I ask you tonight to join us in that future by making a gift and being the change maker that every one of our girls needs you to be so that they can be change makers too, so that they can find a refuge, a place to be themselves, to get back on that bike, and a place to imagine incredible futures for each and every one of us. And now I'd like to turn our attention to our 2020 Young Woman of Distinction, Sahana Vandayar, to help us take a look back and show us how Girl Scouts are making the world a better place.
It's been over 1 year since the beginning of the pandemic.
It's been over a year since we were separated from our friends, our families, and our neighbors. But we were never alone. All of us are part of a Girl Scout community, one that works together through hardship and builds courageous, confident leaders with strong moral character. And that's exactly what I saw from the Girl Scouts during the pandemic. As our community began to feel the tremendous effects of COVID-19, River Valleys acted quickly and compassionately. Within weeks, Girl Scouts provided virtual events full of fun and friendship, during a time when everything felt terrifying. Racial injustice hit our community hard in the aftermath of the George Floyd murder. Girl Scouts spoke out as an anti-racist organization, supported our Black members during this difficult time, and provided our community members the resources they needed to work towards a better world. Seeing Girl Scouts respond to the crises of 2020, I've never felt prouder to be a Girl Scout alum. Girl Scouts doesn't just say that it builds girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place. Each and every one of us saw girls building that better world this year. Girl Scouts was and will always be the spark of hope we all need to stay strong and make big changes. Because in a world that's always changing, Girl Scouts are our change makers. I want you to know that you are a change maker too. You are the reason that girls will always be able to gather around the Girl Scout campfire, whether it's virtually or in person. You are the reason that Girl Scouts can be a nexus of programs, bold community discussions, and resources about what we can all do to fight for racial equality. You are the reason that Girl Scouts is never ever canceled. Giving to Girl Scouts means that Girl Scouts will always be there for girls, and that girls will always be there for us, our community, and the world. We're building girls of courage, confidence, and character. We are Girl Scouts.
Wow, Tish, I feel hopeful and inspired, don't you? We've had quite the year, and Girl Scouts was there for all of it.
Oh, indeed they were. And in honor of these girls and all of our change makers, we are now asking you to help us provide the critical Girl Scout programming they need. Tonight, you can make a gift in any amount by clicking on the donate button located on your screen without ever leaving the program. And remember, your gift will have triple the impact thanks to our Changemaker Fund.
Tish, did you know that a $20,000 gift supports a full year of Girl Scout programming for 20 girls in our Mentored Troops program? These troops provide BIPOC girls the opportunity to be part of an ethnically diverse Girl Scout troop led by volunteer troop leaders of color, where they develop a sense of belonging and sisterhood in a culturally relevant environment.
Yes, and a $10,000 gift gives 10 girls the opportunity to experience camp, one of my favorite things about Girl Scouts. Girls can try new things like horse camp or our new mountain bike camp this summer. We are simply so grateful to each and every one of you for lifting up girls and giving so generously. Every dollar counts for girls and we use it wisely. Thank you for giving tonight.
Girl Scouts can have such an impact on a girl's life, and $2,500 pays membership dues for 100 girls, ensuring every girl has an opportunity to experience the Girl Scout Leadership Program, regardless of their family's financial situation.
And $1,000 will send 10 girls to our Sci Summit, an intensive STEM program focusing on engineering skills. And at the $1,000 level, you also become a member of Girl Scouts River Valley's Leadership Circle, many of whom are here tonight. We are simply so grateful to each and every one of you for lifting up girls and giving so generously.
Gifts at every amount allow us to reach 26,000 girls every year. And don't forget, every gift tonight is tripled in impact. That means that a gift of $500 will become $1,500, $100 will become $300, or $50 becomes $150.
Yes, every single dollar will make a difference for our Girl Scouts. We are so close to reaching our goal tonight. I know that we can do it. Gail, thank you for joining me here tonight and being a part of Celebrate Changemakers. As our River Valleys Board Chair, we are grateful for your leadership. Thank you to our Platinum sponsor, Schwann's Home Delivery, to all of our sponsors for 2021, and for those sponsors that have already invested in our 2022 event that you'll see on the screen. Next year, I'm excited to share that we plan to celebrate together in person, and the date will be announced later this spring.
Thank you, Tish. It has just been wonderful to be here tonight with everyone. As we've shared throughout the program, we can all be change makers. In fact, each and every one of you watching tonight knows someone who has made an impact on their lives, who have made a change in the world. Now, Tish and I are honored to share our Changemaker tribute.
Thank you to Gail, our Changemaker Award honorees, Maddie and Mae, Tish and Sahana, for sharing the Girl Scouts mission with us. We're all making change where we can, how we can. Everyone can be a part of the Girl Scout movement of making the world a better place, as we've seen tonight. If you're moved by these stories, please don't forget to give now at the bottom of your screen. And remember, tonight you'll triple your impact thanks to our Challenge Fund. By donating to Girl Scouts River Valleys, you're ensuring that we can continue to provide girl-led programming for more than 20,000 girls in our service area. Your gift supports girls like Maddie and Mae and so many more to find the change maker within themselves. Thank you all again and have a wonderful night.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for supporting Girl Scouts River Valleys.
Thank you for supporting Girl Scouts River Valleys. Thank you for being a change maker.
Hi, my name's Evelyn. Thank you for supporting Girl Scouts. 谢谢你支持女童军。
Your support of Girl Scout River Valleys helps empower girls like me to become leaders of the future. Thank you, thank you.